Stop right there! What? Holy shit! Shit, I need some help! Well, hell, look at this! I'm in trouble! Damn it! What the hell is this? Alright! Get ready, ladies!
Jesus Christ, man, Left 4 Dead 2 is such an insane game. Not only is it still alive with thousands of daily players, even though it's older than most of the people in my friend group, but also just the amount of things you can do in this game. You can go from killing regular zombies in a regular game with your regular friends with regular guns, to then clicking a bunch of buttons in the menu and ending up with this. Not to mention that you don't even need mods to have fun, because there are literally dozens of different game modes, along with dozens of different campaigns, along with dozens of different guns that you can choose whichever gun you like better, along with a different melee weapon. So it is safe to say that Left 4 Dead 2 replayability value is seemingly infinite. One of my favorite things in Left 4 Dead 2 are definitely the guns. There are so many different guns to choose from, and there's really no bad gun. There's just guns that are better than others in different situations, and the same can be said for the melee weapons. Except for the Pitchfork. The Pitchfork is actual garbage. Seriously, this thing sucks so much. Its swing and hit rates are so crap that you can barely hit more than one zombie with one singular swing. And also, this thing swings slow as hell. And on top of all else, the thing's just ugly. And because I have free will, today I'm gonna try to beat Left 4 Dead 2 with just the Pitchfork. Now, just to let you guys know, this is part 2 of a 2-part series, so don't forget to check out part 1, which I will be leaving down in the description. Also, in part 1 is where I've pretty much explained everything. The rules of the game, how things are gonna plan out, and a lot more information. So don't forget to check out part 1. Also, what the hell are you doing checking out part 2 before part 1? This isn't a movie prequel, or this isn't a prequel to the first part. This is the second part. This comes after the first part. So, what the hell are you doing? Anyways, enough japping, let's get to the challenge. First up, no mercy. Now, the mission was very easy. Get to the Mercy Hospital so we can get evacuated. Now, the first thing I did was to spend some jolly old time with my jolly old pals.
Then I sent them all straight to the Shadow Realm where they all belong.
And once I was all alone and also permanently on the naughty list, I gave myself the Pitchfork using mods and then gave myself some motivation before heading down to the terrors below. And at first, I was doing really well. I was killing every zombie, remaining calm, and I actually thought I was gonna make it on my first try. But then I died. Oh, well, that's okay. No one is born perfect. That's why you always learn from your first try. And that's why on my second try, still died. But then on my third try, same story. But then finally on my fourth try, died again. Okay, I think people get the point already. Can we get to the part where I beat it already? But then on my fifth try, as I was fighting for my life, I came across a Mountain Dew bottle? Jesus, people be making any kinds of mods nowadays. What the hell is next? Survivors or Turkified or something? Anyways, after having a little bit of a tussle with the locals, I finally made it to the safe room and moving on to the subway station. And the subway station was actually really interesting because a lot of things happened here. For example, when I was roaming around, I came across...
Domer!
Oh, come on, couldn't I have gotten a break from Chicken Jockey? And now we get to the panic event. And this is what I mean when I say the Pitchfork is garbage. Just look at this, because I don't miss once, not twice, but wait, I miss 3 times! And because of this, I got distracted to the point where freaking Purple Slenderman decided to grab me and they overwhelmed me and killed me. But then on my second try, I met up with... Santa, why would you do this to me? Now, right off the bat, the first thing I did was
to send all of my teammates to the Shadow Realm.
Then I sent them all straight to the Shadow Realm where they all belong.
Oh, yeah.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and
I wanted to run a bit more to eventually come across the jolly old man once again. Oh, come on, Santa. Come on, Santa. That's not very jolly of you, man. Come on. But in the end, I started wandering a bit more. I'm dying. But then I finally made it back to the panic event. And as I was trying to survive, I got attacked by... The hell is that? That's a fat-ass Homer. God damn. Okay. Okay, you just sit there. Don't bother me and I won't bother you, okay? After having a huge brawl with the locals and finally being able to squeeze my 2 round booty cheeks out of that place, I finally got out of that place entirely and was able to make it to the safe room and being able to move on to the next chapter. Now the next chapter's panic event wasn't anything that special because all I had to do was activate the panic event and then put on my running shoes and run like friggin' hell. Not looking back, just running past every enemy I come across and just run. That's all I did, just run, and I made it to the safe room. Once I was finally in the hospital, all I had to do was make it to the rooftop so I could get evacuated. I watched some TV to calm the nerves, and once I was ready to Rambo, I opened that door and headed into the hospital terrors. And now we're doing the hospital's panic event. And this panic event is so insane that this isn't even the panic event. It's just a random horde that started before I even started the panic event. So yeah. So how exactly did I beat this panic event? Well, this is exactly what I did. First, when I started the panic event, my first thought was to hide in this little closet pantry thingy. I thought that the zombies would only come from a few angles, but as it turns out they didn't do that. Instead, they came on from every angle and eventually just, well, you know. And I didn't do any better on my second try, so on my third try, I decided to switch things up a bit. Instead of hiding in that weird closet pantry thingy, I decided to go to the end of this hallway and hide in this little room where the zombies could only come in from one angle. I would poke at them, swing at them whenever they try to get in, and I would generally be way safer than in the closet thingy. At one point I was getting overwhelmed when all of a sudden I got attacked by, oh god, oh no, zombie! At one point I got attacked by the freaking father-son duo, but since they were absolutely nothing, I took care of them with ease. Then when I had an opening, I finally made it to the elevator. Now all I had to do was make it to the safe. Oh no, oh god, oh no, please, I prefer Tom, please, oh god. But now we finally make it to the finale. And this finale was actually really interesting because all I had to do was stand on this pillar thingy and I would be completely safe. The common infected weren't much of a problem. The only real problems were the magenta purple creepers that would vomit on me and blind me, and that would be annoying. And also, of course, the freaking purple magenta Slenderman. Any other special infected that would get on my turf, I would just seize them immediately, and or they would just jump off the edge. Death, mainly because of Homer's boulder dash. Now I had to face Mr. Christmas himself, Mr. Saint Nicholas. And this guy was actually really easy, because all I had to do was get him to climb some kind of ledge, and while he's in climbing animation, I would hit him a few times and then run away like a little girl. And this plan was absolutely flawless. It worked so well that before I knew it, both Santas were already dead. Yes, there were 2 Santas in between 2 waves of zombies. This was not easy. This took me 2 hours to beat. I am being held against my will. Please send help. I miss my family. I am being held captive by Edward Crowley. He lives at Olive Street in 3. But after all that chaos, I was finally able to leave that campaign for good. Next up, Crash Course. Now, as it turns out, my pilot is an absolute freaky freakster of a freak, because in order to repay him for saving my life, bro wanted me to put on a freaking cat maid outfit and start throwing it back aggressively. But then I told bro I was actually a minor, so then he genuinely crashed the damn helicopter. Listen man, I don't kink shame, but next time don't get so desperate, alright? Anyways, I gotta get out of this city pronto. Boing, boingy, boing, boingy, boing, boingy. After boinging all over the alleys and streets, and getting a little scared midway through the chapter, I finally made it to the panic event, and surprisingly, this panic event was actually really easy. This is because I was given a bunch of boomer biles that I could use to distract the small infected with, and anytime I was attacked by a big infected, I would just use drugs to heal myself up. By the way, these drugs did not help me in any way, shape, or form. They did not make my life any better. If anything, they made my life a lot worse. Don't do drug kids. So yeah, I had just a bunch of boomer biles laying around that helped me pretty much distract the horde the entire time. When I was about to leave, all of a sudden Patrick decided to puke all over me, and I panicked, so I just decided to just walk through the fire like a goddamn Terminator. But I still made it to the end, and I was all good.
How are you good after walking through fire?
And now we get to one of my least favorite chapters of the entire game. Here's why. First things first, I need to run through an entire goddamn marathon. The reason why this chapter is so damn long is because in Crash Course there is only 2 chapters in total, and to make it so the campaign isn't uber short, they made those 2 campaigns extra long. I mean, so long. You can see right here, this is like a 10 times speed, and I'm still going, I'm still running. And if I die at any point, I'm gonna have to restart all the way from 0. And once I finally make it, then now I can start the finale. But that was another problem, is that I didn't know where to do a holdout post. But eventually, after doing some research, I found this guy again, the same guy that helped me with Swamp Fever finale. Make sure to check out his channel, I'll leave it in the description. Anyways, this is how you beat the Crash Course finale. The way to do it is that you gotta stand on these cargo boxes, and then when a speeder tries to climb up, you shove her. Now, why do you want to do this? Well, because when you shove her in this specific spot, for some reason she'll kind of just bash her head against the wall and kind of like just not move at all.
Dumbass spinner.
And then what you gotta do is stand on this specific spot to prevent any special infected from coming up. And, well, now I gotta do this. Can't be that hard, right? Hey, look at that. It wasn't that hard after all. Huh, who would have guessed? Now, why am I doing this in the first place? Well, you see, only 2 special infected can spawn at the same time, then it caps out. So, if both special infected are completely frozen and aren't doing anything at all, the only thing I have to worry about is the small infected, and they're pretty easy to deal with. So now the only real problem was Saint Nicholas. So, how did I beat him? Well, I would make him climb this ledge here, and of course, while he's climbing, I would hit him a few times, and then I would jump down, and then run around, and by the time I go back up to the top, he would be climbing that ledge again, and I would hit him a few times, and then repeat that process until I finally kill him. So after many combos, many jumps, and many deaths, eventually I finally killed the last Santa, and I don't know if you can tell, but I was kinda happy. And after all this chaos, I could finally head down to the absolute wonderful whip that was waiting for me down there. I made sure to rub it in all of my opses before I left this stupid, dumb campaign. Next up, Death Toll. Now this campaign was actually very interesting. Not because anything crazy happened, but because it took me way longer than it should have. Like, I'm being serious, this campaign isn't anything crazy. The panic events are pretty bland and basic and nothing we haven't seen before, and the finale is also pretty basic. So it's why I wanna know, why the fuck did this take me 2 hours to beat? Anyways, let's get straight to it, shall we? The first chapter went alright. I had a few hiccups along the way, but eventually I made it without an issue. Hooray! I thought the second chapter's panic event was gonna give me a lot more issues than I thought it would, but I just ended up throwing a bunch of boomer biles down that distracted all the zombies, and eventually I made it to the safe room. The third chapter was very interesting though, because I was getting attacked by Santa, so I just hit in my safe room. Y'all think he's gonna give me my VR headset I wanted for Christmas? After that, all I have to do is do what I'm best at. Running! Yay, running! I run a lot here. Like a lot, goddamn. But eventually I finally made it to the church, and as it turns out, there's actually a human in here. Yes! Let's go! Survivors! But for some strange reason, bro wouldn't let me in. And for some reason, instead of opening the door, dude decided to do this instead. You know what, I'm not even gonna say anything because Francis' words perfectly describe what I'm feeling.
I'm gonna tear that bell down and shove it up your ass.
But fortunately, thanks to this guy. Thanks to one of his videos, I found out that if I just jump on top of a zombie's head and line up on here, literally nobody could get me. And then I could just jump down at any time and kill everyone. And, don't worry about this guy. I put him out of his misery, don't worry. And as it turns out, it was actually Patrick in there the whole time. So I had to take him out because he was too dangerous. And the fourth chapter was really easy. You wanna know why it was really easy? Because all I had to do was run! That's all I had to do, just run like the goddamn Flash, not looking back, pushing anyone that gets in my way, and making it to the safe room all good because I just had to run. All I had to do was run. Let's go! And the finale was actually really easy. Because thanks to this guy. I found out that if I just stood on one of the pillar thingies at the end of the dock, literally no zombie could get me. I would literally be... Like, literally, just look at this. All these zombies are just standing there doing nothing. Even the specially infected. Like, look at this Mountain Dew bottle. It's just coming up to me, doing absolutely nothing. Freaking Homer just running around. Freaking idiots. Freaking... But what about Santa? What did I do about him? Well, actually, he was really easy. For some reason, when I stood on the dock, bro all of a sudden got the urge to go swimming, and then he got out of the water immediately, giving me the chance to hit him, and then for some reason he would do it again? I don't even. So yeah, since bro was so eager to getting wet all the time, I was able to combo him multiple times, and eventually I killed him in no time, and same with both Santas, by the way, and I was able to get out of that place with 0 issues. Mostly. Get away from me, Santa! I have a pitchfork! I'm not afraid to use it! You better put me in the nice list or else! I wanna fucking die! Nah!
Dun, epic music. Dun.
La 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 la, I'm going to get a boat. You know what? I don't want a boat. Those things are ugly. You know what I've been thinking? I've been thinking of going on a joyride on that car over there. What's the worst that can happen? I mean, I don't have a license, but eh.
A few inches later.
Next up, the last stand. So as it turns out, Mario Kart isn't a good substitute for a driver's license. Anyways, I'm gonna have to find a boat again. And this chapter was freaking annoying as hell. Seriously, it was so annoying. So annoying to the point where I wanted to start a freaking cooking channel instead. And it's all because of the panic event. This panic event seems pretty simple. All you gotta do is start this pump thingy and then survive a wave. But then, when you survive the wave, what you gotta do is go around and activate 4 generators. 4 generators that take their sweet, sweet time on powering on. So how did I beat this panic event? Well, to be honest with you guys, I don't even remember. I mean, even looking back at the footage, I genuinely can't find how I did it. I kinda just did it. So, yeah. Yippee! But that was a problem. After the panic event, I was completely dry on healing items, and I was really low on health, and there were freaking zombies coming after my ass, so I started running, and I didn't think, hey, I made it. Huh. And since the last stand is kinda like Crash Course, that only has 2 chapters, I was already at the finale. And this finale was really difficult. First, I need to get through a wave of zombies like usual. I would set it up with a lighthouse where the zombies could only come up in certain points. And now for Santa, you'd think that I would kill him like normally. And yes, you'd be correct, I did kill him like normally, but this will be much more difficult. Because instead of the regular 2 Santas I always get sent out, eventually at the end, after killing those 2 Santas, I would have to fight 2 Santas at the same goddamn time. Awesome! So how the actual fudge did I get through this part? Well, the regular infected weren't that big of an issue, and the special infected would just love to jump off the edge for some reason. For Santa, it would be a little different. Instead of making him climb all over the place like a monkey, I would play a ring around the roses with him around the lighthouse, landing any hits I can whenever he's exposed, and making him punch air, that way I could get combos in. I mean, check out these combos. Whoop, oh, no you don't, come here, whoop, and now I have to collect gas. And actually, this was pretty easy, thanks to the fact that this was like dead center, because since I have an average amount of hours in this game, I already know what to do since I have done this finale dozens of times, so I was able to fill up the generator pretty quickly. Vroom, vroom, speed, vroom. And after that, I need to fight yet another Santa, and then get through another wave of zombies, and then I have to fight the dual Santa attack. Now, how did I get through this? Well, if you watched part 1 and you know what I did in Swamp Fever, I was about to do the same thing here. Like what I did with the Conquest, I was gonna get one of the Santas to throw the waffle, that way it hits the other Santa, and it repeatedly hits that Santa until it dies. And now all I gotta do is try to get the Santas to align, that way one of them hits the other one with a waffle attack. And after minutes of running around and trying not to die, finally this happened.
That's the sound of me having this game in the bag.
And now all I had to do was kill the final Santa, and then I can finally leave to the boat and get out of this place. But I first obviously had to emote in front of the ops before leaving this dumb campaign once and for all. Next up, Dead Air. Now remember when I said that Coldstream was the easiest campaign? Well, I take that back. Because freaking Dead Air was the easiest campaign. Like, Coldstream took me just a little over half an hour to beat. Meanwhile, Dead Air only took me 29 minutes. Like, throughout the entire campaign, I only died twice. So, how'd I beat it? Well, let's get to it. The first chapter was easy as hell because it was just so damn short. Like your Willy! I thought the second chapter's panic event was gonna give me issues, but actually it was really easy. Thanks to this boomer bile that I found in here that was sitting... I'm not gonna question it. I threw it down to distract all of the zombies in the area. That way, once they piled on, I just curve stomped all of them.
Actually, didn't you show Pitchfork? You stomped on them, so that's cheating. You literally
Shut up! After I make it through the panic event, all I have to do is simply run. Just run. You guys know the rest, okay? I made it, GP. But this next panic event genuinely had me stressing, because in order to activate it, you have to shoot it. But I didn't know if a melee weapon could okay, yeah, it works, I got it. But then I have to fight a horde. And this part was actually pretty difficult because there was like no holdout points. But eventually, after just a few heart attacks, the barricade thingamajiggy finally burned, so I was able to run. I'm not saying anything. But then, as I was looting, I accidentally pissed off a witch, so I had no other option than to freaking run once again. But I got cut off short by the jolly old man. Thank you, Santa. But then on my second try, I was doing fine. I was doing okay. But then on the next chapter, I thought I was gonna have a lot of issues because there are literally 2 panic events in this one chapter. But the first panic event was pretty easy because I just had to run. And on the second panic event, I just threw down a boomer mile that distracted the zombies the entire time, allowing me to make it to the safe room pretty darn quickly. Let's go! And now in the finale, look up in the sky! Look at that! It's actually a plane! It's coming down to save me! Let's go! Now I thought this finale was gonna be a pain on my left butt cheek. Because, you see, there's pretty much no holdout point that I know of, unlike in, you know, Dark Carnival or in Hard Rain. So, how did I beat this finale? What did I do? Well, actually, I didn't do anything at all. Because, thanks to no okay, hold on. I'm gonna try to say this right, okay? No skilch. No skilch. No skilch. This guy. I found out that if you just crouch down in this, like, corner of the plane, the zombies would just kind of stand there and do nothing, like they didn't know how to get to you. So yeah, that was pretty much it. But what about Santa? Wasn't he a problem? Well, apparently no, because for some reason, when he couldn't get to me, he would just die?
Gonna kill you and I'll keep killing you and I'll never...
I mean, just look at this. Bro is standing right there. All he has to do is go around and come and get me, but instead he chooses to die. So yeah, that's all I did. Just crouch down in that corner, and when the plane was ready, I just got on, and I was out of there in no time. Next up, Blood Harvest. Now, this was one of those campaigns that nothing really interesting happened, so speedrun time. The first chapter was pretty scary because zombies kept coming out of the freaking bushes and stuff, but after only just a few fails, I eventually made it to the safe room without any issues. Next, the second chapter in this panic event was really easy because... guess what I had to do? I don't know. Just take a guess. Did you fight? No. Did you run? Yeah, good job. Look at the photo! This next chapter was pretty simple to get through because first of all,
I died!
But then when I started the panic event, what I gotta do is... do I even need to tell you what happened? But the fourth chapter was actually pretty interesting because right at the end, for some reason a horde of zombies would spawn every time, preventing me from getting through. And I would die multiple times in this process. But after only just a few attempts, I was able to get through it. I was able to get through it. But then the finale was easy as hell because all I had to do was stand on this specific spot on the house and literally no zombie could get me. Even the Santa had trouble because for some reason he would just love to climb this one specific spot, but also he would like to dance in this specific spot. And for some reason he would prefer to dance rather than to save himself, so he just kind of sit there as I stabbed him with my pitchfork to death. So yeah, this whole part was just a freaking piece of cake. And after barely dodging Boulder Homer, I finally got on the military truck and I finally left that dumb, depressing place, and all that's left is the sacrifice. Once I beat this campaign, I would finally be free from all this hell. Now, the start of the first chapter was pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and I didn't have any issues with it. But what I did have issues was with the panic event, because this panic event is easily in the top 5 biggest ops. You see, once I start this panic event, I have to first deal with a horde, yet at the same time having to deal with a goddamn Santa! So how the hell did I get through this part? Well, first of all, I would sweat my ass off trying to kill and focusing only on the small zombies, and then once they were all dead, I would focus on the Santa alone. And the way I would kill him is by using these boat dolly thingies. What the hell are these things called again? Boat dolly thingies. Huh. So yeah, I would use these boat dolly thingies to kill the Santa, and sure, they weren't perfect, but they got the job done. So after many deaths, eventually I finally landed the last few hits to kill Santa, and the rest of the chapter afterwards was pretty simple. Yeah! The next chapter, believe it or not, but I had to run. But thankfully, this was the last time I ever had to run. The panic event was pretty scary because there was a Santa after my ass, but after getting through that section, that was pretty much a breeze after that, and I was able to make it to the safe room without any issues. And now we are finally at the finale. And the finale is actually pretty interesting and unique, because you see, you have to activate 3 generators, and each generator you activate will spawn both a horde of zombie and a Santa from each generator. Now, I could have been a man and activated all the generators at the same time, but I low-key want to keep my sanity, so I decided to just activate them one at a time and deal with the problems one at a time. But exactly how did I deal with the problems? Well, let's first go over Mr. Christmas himself. I would play Ring Around the Roses with him around this generator and hit him anytime I could. Once he was dead, I would have to deal with the horde, and the horde was kinda more difficult than Santa himself, but if I just kept moving, they pretty much couldn't hit me. And once all generators were activated and all Santas and hordes were dead, all I had to do was go on top of the bridge, raise the bridge, then head back down and restart the generator. And here is where it all ends. Here and now. After everything I've been through, after all the pain, suffering, and chaos I've put myself through, After all the crap that this dumb melee weapon has put me through, I can finally rest. So, can you beat Left 4 Dead 2 by only using the pitchfork? The answer is yes. Yes, you can. There was no point where I actually had to use something other than the pitchfork to progress through the game. So yeah. Now, after everything we've been through, will I change my mind about the pitchfork and say it's a good melee weapon? Hell no! But still, mission completed. Now don't forget to check out No Skilch, since his strategies helped me get through 90% of the game. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to remind it every time I upload a new video. I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas with your families. I wish you all a happy New Year's, and I'll see you all next time.